Hey, what's up? It's another episode of Watch You Strappin, and these are not watch reviews. They're just quick wristwatch check of the day with strap pairing, just to show it off, just to show people what it looks like, and maybe give some ideas, whatever. But here we are. I am back on the Tudor BB58 in bronze. Really love this one. Such cool colors. Very unique dial for the BlackBerry lineup as well. Only one with like this sort of explorer style dial. And yeah, it's got a nice fume brown color and some gold or rose gold tones to it to all just tie it all together. And today I am off of the bracelet, which I've pretty much had for the most part, and I plan to keep it mostly on the bracelet anyways. But this watch is a boutique edition. It does come with a fabric strap as well, which is cool, with matching bronze hardware, and it's in like a brownish it's in a brown tone for the most part, with a tan or gold center stripe running down through it. And again, it ties the look all together pretty good. And that's pretty much it. It is unusual the way it attaches. It looks like a NATO strap, and it does run underneath, but actually inside here, in case you guys don't know about how these fabric straps are from Tudor, there's actually a little space or a little opening that runs through for you to slip the spring bars through. So it actually holds the strap in a specific position. It doesn't, allow it to just simply pass through. Actually, the spring bars run through the middle of the strap. I can't really show it. Obviously, it's kind of hard to do that, especially with one hand. But just trust me, and I think I might have shown this in the unboxing video. Basically, yeah, the spring bar runs through it, and then you basically have to kind of attach this onto your watch, like you would putting on a any other strap or two-piece band or something, because you got to use a tool to get the spring bars in one side and then also this way, then it's fixed. The adjustment for the size is a little bit unusual too, a little bit finicky. I can't really, let me see if I can lift this up and show it to you, but you can get an idea. Just basically you got to run it through this buckle piece here. It kind of goes in and out and out, in and out again, I guess, and it holds it in place once you've adjusted to the right size that you want. But doing it takes a couple of tries to get it right, because you don't really have a good idea what exactly is happening as you're kind of pulling and pushing the material, like exactly how much smaller or bigger, I guess, depending on what you're going for, in terms of size adjustment is happening. But once you get it down, it's locked down and fine. And yeah, it's you don't have a whole lot of tail anyway, so I think you want to adjust it so that it just barely sticks out. I mean, this is not that bad at all. Yeah, because it doesn't, I don't know, my wrist isn't that big anyways. And look how much I'm using up already. Like how I'm down to last or second to last hole, I think, and I have about a 7-inch wrist. And so obviously this would be even shorter if you got a bigger wrist, and much smaller, well, you're not going to get that much tail end anyways. But you basically adjust the strap through this buckle to kind of get, adjust the length of it, and hopefully it'll all match up to the appropriate length that you want it to be at. So yeah, it's all right. It's not elastic or anything. It's actually fairly, if it is, it's barely elastic. It's not like an MN strap, like the parachute stuff that's really stretchy. No, it doesn't do that. It's basically a fabric strap. This works. I was thinking this would be fine, but to be honest, I think the material on, say, a Erica's Original, which is like an elastic parachute style strap, would work even better. Those are good quality. You get all sorts of color options, although for this you'd probably limit it to, what do they have? I think they have like what do you call it? Is it tobacco brown or Havana? I think it's called, they call it Havana because it's kind of like cigars or brown, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, the brown strap that they have, and you can choose the center strap. You can find something that works pretty well with this. And then the only thing is, they don't really have bronze hardware. Well, they do. They have a CUSN8, which is a different alloy. It looks more orange or reddish in color. It patinas differently as well. And I did get one of those before for another watch that I had, which was the Baltic Bronze. But the Baltic Bronze is actually very similar to the Tudor here. It's not a CUSN8. It doesn't have that orangey, almost rose gold sort of color to it sometimes. This is more of a gold color, or brass even. More goldish, more yellow in it than orange or red in CUSN8. And so, and that didn't quite match, but they were on opposite sides of the watch, so I kind of just, went with it. It's the closest thing I could get for an Erica's original at the time. And it will patina, and maybe if they did both darken enough, they could maybe sort of be similar in tone, at least when they're darkened. But it is noticeably different to my eyes. And I guess somewhat recently, they've made you can get the hardware for Erica's in brass, if I'm not mistaken, and that'd probably be the next best one to get. It's more gold color, so it will look closer to this. Whether brass will patina or not, I think it might. I think I've seen people use brass as watch cases, and like say, I think there's a micro brand in New York called Carpenter Watches. They used to make some of their watches in brass, and I know Helsing, they're a micro brand in, I want to say they're in Hong Kong, or maybe they're in Singapore, but they're over in Asia. And they've also been known to make some of their, like say, the shark divers. That's one of their kind of more famous or notable watch design models in brass as well. So I don't know, maybe I might do that, but those do add up quite a bit real quickly once you start optioning different hardware, because the standard hardware in stainless steel will be around 80-ish something dollars, and then as you do the Erica's original, once you start doing like a different kind of hardware, like black PVD coated, or is it DOC, or black, or bronze, or brass. Is there anything else? Yeah, if you do anything else like that, then you start adding, it will be in the hundreds, I guess, around 100. So not cheap, but it's totally custom made. But maybe if I do get one, I will share it in one of these episodes. So here we go, just another look at the bronze Tudor Black Bay 58. Yeah, this awesome watch, and this is just you can just see how it's patina, maybe compared to the last time. I haven't worn it in, I think it's been several weeks, if not almost a month. I've just been in and out of some watches. I've been selling some stuff, and then I've been trying to gauge which ones I want to keep, so I kind of threw them back earlier in rotation, because I was thinking, well, if I'm gonna sell it, I better kind of get a few for it once more before I list it, and just so I know how I feel about it before it might have to go. And so this might have lost its turn in rotation a couple of times possibly, but here it is. You can look back at some of the previous videos to see how much it might have changed. Not much. The bronze alloy that Tudor uses does seem to generally patina slower, and I think that's they purposely engineered that bronze that they use to do that. And it's not like CUS in it, which I think is more reactive. It does tend to patina much quicker, I think, from my experience. It's just been on like a Christopher Ward one of the early bronze ones, the C60. That was before the Mark III or the light catcher cases, even. So I had one of those. I had what else did I have? I had a Zelos, one of the earlier models before I think they started really blowing up. It was one of the Helmsman 2, and probably most of you might not even know that model unless you've been an avid fan from the beginning. The Helmsman was one of the first watches too, and then it wasn't bad. I didn't know about it back then, but then when they introduced the Helmsman 2, that ticked all right boxes for me, and it was pretty cool. I sort of regret selling it because I don't know why they don't revisit that model. That was kind of their main model that launched them, a flagship model, I might even say, because it's at the time, at least, it seems like that was like their the best watch that they had at that moment. But the only thing I didn't like about that was the conical shape to the dual crowns, because it was sort of a compressor, super compressor style of watch. So had dual crowns at by the 2 and the 4. They're too conical and not enough texture, so they weren't that great to manipulate if and when you had to do it. I think the inner rotating bezel, which is a tricky matter for me, they tend to shift a bit, like laterally or vertically. Like they don't stay necessarily centered on the around the dial, and trying to set them and get into a specific position and make it look right, correctly positioned, sometimes can be a little tricky. And anyways, that's that. And I don't have that problem with this. This has an excellent external 60 click, pretty sure it's 60 click bezel. Yeah, here we go. Here it is. Yeah, definitely we're coming out of summer, going into fall, autumn, right? So this is definitely going to be a watch that I think I'm going to try to wear more often. The tones are just perfect for autumn and fall, right? Definitely going to work for that. Thanks for watching and enjoy your watches.